Hello, football family. Welcome in to Huddle It Up Films, episode 18. Jameel, we are legal here. Legal.
Yes,
Old
sir.
enough to go to war, at least. I don't think you can buy beer or cigarettes anymore, but you can go to war.
For sure, for sure.
Jameel, now I got to witness Jameel in dad duty. It was great. It was a beautiful sight. Took me back to a time when my kid got into the baby powder and was having the time of his life at about 2 years old, and was apparently banging on his like little keyboard thing, and powder was flying everywhere. He thought it was like the greatest moment of his life. And you're coming off a similar situation just minutes ago, sir.
Yeah, just cocoa butter. Wasn't no baby powder. It was cocoa butter. My daughter got it all in her hair, all over her chest and in her nose. I had to get it out her nose, out her hair. She's still a little shiny, but she's okay. She's okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, love the toddler times. And my theory is if when they're quiet as babies, they're really rambunctious as a toddler, and
Yeah,
when they cry a lot as a baby, then they're usually good as a toddler.
yeah,
So
real calm, right? Yeah, man. She's all over the place. But Palmer's cocoa butter. We need that sponsor, man. Get us,
yeah, yeah,
get at us.
get on it. I always make jokes about our guest tonight. Simply AS10, his sponsor, him and Sutton Death, man. They got professional, dude. They got the manscaping sponsor.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
super dope. That's super dope. I like that.
Yeah, I told him I was not going to buy him manscaping for his birthday. Like, I'm comfortable with myself. But I don't know, Jameel. That seems a little personal to me, man.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't think you need to gift anybody. I don't think you need to gift him that or any other male.
Yeah, Jameel. There's always a bright side. Is Kim S. Thank you for coming in, Kim.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
yeah, her skin moisturized though. She probably wants to be like mommy and daddy, right?
For sure. Yeah. Yep.
Look, I'm a big girl. I can do it. I can do it. And Shrimp Trawler in here, man. Thank you so much, Shrimp Trawler. Good to see you, man. Film time. Got some film tonight. Hoping it comes up well. I was having some technical difficulties, but Jameel, we got to highlight the offense while we still can, man. And while
Yes,
when
sir.
we have our time, we could do defense every week. But we had some good run game, some J.K. Dobbins footage, man. Doing this film on the run game, Jameel, what stood out to me the most was that it was everybody in this offensive line. It wasn't just the right side, the left side. It was the tight ends. It was Ricard had a monster game. Like you really could see the rhythm of this run game on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. It's and it's good to be able to run that ball and control the clock. That time of possession, we know that's Ravens football, right? They love to control the clock, and when we're rolling and everybody's rolling, we got J.K. back. He had a big game. Then you had Gus in there doing his thing. When we're able to do that, man, it's clicking on all cylinders for the run game right now. And then, like you said, to your point, everyone on the offensive line was contributing. But special shout out to Ronnie Stanley, because it seems like whenever he's in there, the running game just seems to get a boost. Everyone's kind of like leveling up their play when Ronnie Stanley is on that is back in the lineup for us.
I especially notice it, Jameel. Greg Roman runs a lot of different run schemes. So we get the power, we get the pull in, we got the gap scheme, we had everything in there. But when Ronnie's in there, it seems like he runs more of that outside stretch zone that we see from Cleveland and San Francisco and
For sure.
LA and all those other teams. And Ronnie really allows you to do that. There was one run that didn't make it in here, but it was a cutback by Gus. And Ronnie was just doing such a good job with his guy that allowed Gus to get positive yardage when everything else was crowded up. So yeah, you usually think, all right, well, right tackle needs to run block. If a left tackle run blocks, that's a bonus. We just need him to protect the blind side. But having Ronnie in there almost as important as having JK and Gus for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And also a shout out to Ben Cleveland, who stepped in at right guard and was blocking at a high level. Yeah, new guns at right guard. Is that Shrimp Trawler?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
our
for
guy,
sure,
man.
man. New guns at right guard. Ben Cleveland. And a lot of people had a lot of the reservations with Ben Cleveland because they was expecting him to kind of take on that left guard spot, and Ben Powers kind of took over at that spot, and then he failed his conditioning test over the off season and things of that nature. So people were kind of like some fans were a little out on Ben Cleveland, and then he was I don't want to say he was a healthy scratch, but he couldn't seem to find the to get on the field even when Zeitler was out in the starting lineup. They went with TCC Castillo. They went with him over Ben Cleveland. So to see him actually get in and then contribute and to be a key cog in that running game last week, it was nice to see.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that because within like an hour, it went from, or at least 2 hours, it went from the fans like lowest point on Ben Cleveland to like
Yeah,
their highest point in the year.
yeah,
It, we got the messages on Twitter that Tristan Colon was starting in Ben Cleveland's place. Everybody's like, "Oh man,
right.
what is going on? Like, is he in the hardball doghouse? All this other stuff." And then Ben Cleveland came in. He was in on that last drive. He actually, or not the last drive, he was in on JK's big run, the touchdown drive is what I meant to say. The big run and the goal line play that we're look at. And then Tristan Colon, the shrimp trawlers stealing my point. I would just bring him up again. Ask McCary what he did to get a contract, quick feet. That's what I noticed about Tristan Colon. There are cut ups of both of them, Ben Cleveland and Colon, in the pass game and the run game on the channel. So if you want to see like a completely different contrasting styles, you got Cologne, smaller, quicker, technically sound, great feet, aggressive and everything. And then there's Ben Cleveland who goes through stretches of absolute dominance where he's doing things that Cologne can't do. But then you see his feet, and Cologne's feet are much, much better than Ben Cleveland. So a big guy, a smaller guy, a center, a pure guard, like it was wild watching the two of them work and execute the same assignments.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was definitely pleasant to see, man. And even with TCC, not to say that he didn't do his job, he definitely played very well as well. But to see Ben Cleveland do his job at a pretty good level, it was definitely good to see. But both of them, like you said, Makari, TCC is kind of in that mold with just the technician. He's not going to maul you with his strength, but he's going to use his wits and his feet to kind of beat you to the spot. And Ben Cleveland is the opposite of that. He's more of the big guy who's going to try to brute get you out of there with his strength and things of that nature.
So I like where we're at, Jamil. Big picture thought here for a second, but I'm looking at next year, and then the big thing is you have to say it first. This is aside from any major injuries happening for the end of the year to where it affects them going into next year. But you think about next year, okay? You got all these guys under contract except for Ben Powers. So what I would be looking at is the other 8 guys that are playing right now and active. I really like. So you got Linderbaum, and then you got Tristan Colon that can back him up, or Pat McCary. You got Stanley, Morgan Moses. You got Lele sitting there, but if Lele's slow to develop, you still got McCary. And then of course you got Zeitler, and you got Ben Cleveland at guard. So I'm looking at, all right, maybe in the draft, you just get a guard in the draft, a nice one. And that way, in case Ben Cleveland doesn't progress and you don't want to go with Tristan Colon there, you got a rookie in the mix. Or if not, you could sign like a Ben Powers for cheap, let him shop himself elsewhere. You know what I mean? If he can't get a starting job somewhere, maybe he can come back. But I'm looking at 8 out of 9 pieces. And with Colon and McCary being 2 of those, Jamil, we got some backup now at tackle and center. And I like where we're sitting with this young group.
Yeah, versatility. We got guys who can plug in at different spots, like you said. Cologne, he can play, that guard center spot, and you have Makari, he can play guard center and tackle. So we do have flexibility throughout the line, and we have a really good rotation. I'm a little wary on Ben Powers as far as the extension because he's playing so well. I'm actually seeing a stat where he was the highest graded pass blocking guard in the NFL. So things like that, and his win rate, I think, is pretty high. I think he's like top 5. So when you see things like that, and then when you look around the league, and going into the free agency, he may or may not want to test the waters to see maybe if he could get a bigger contract elsewhere. I'm not expecting a super like a Quentin Nelson type of deal or anything like that, of course, but he may get a bigger deal elsewhere, but hopefully we can retain Ben Powers.
I think he's got a good chance at getting a starting job somewhere.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
again, like Bozeman last year, when people were wanting to pay him 10 million plus, that's not the type of money Powers should be paid, in my opinion. He's done well. I think that Linderbaum has helped him a lot, And
Yeah.
I think Powers has improved as a player a lot. But these pass blocking grades, when they run them stunts up front, that is not Powers' strength. I can't tell you how many times on tape, Jamil, I've seen Linderbaum like this,
Yeah.
head swivel. Ben Powers is getting beat, and he comes over and just crunches a guy. It's like every week. So I think it just goes to show you that having a good tackle and center next to you can help you. But yeah, I mean, I think he's going to shop. The Ravens aren't going to be in a rush to sign him. He's going to want to see what's out there. The Ravens are going to say, "Hey, go see." You know how they do it. Go see what's out there. If you want to come back for a couple of million and compete for left guard, that's your prerogative. That's kind of how I see the Powers situation playing out.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't think I think, not to say hardball or anything like that, but I think they'll allow him to see what he can get out there, and then, if not, they'll definitely bring him back. If nothing, if the grass isn't green on the other side, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully he gets paid. He deserves it. He deserves it. But
Yeah,
I
he definitely does, because he took a lot of flack in the off season, preseason. A lot of people were down on him too, and he did a complete 180. So yeah.
Yeah, where would you be without this offensive line right now? Because there's a lot of other areas that we're struggling with. We got Ravens 76 B more. Salute, salute. Hey, great to see you in here, Ravens 76. Thank you so much. Jeff J made it. Made it. Hey, y'all, hit that like button. Yeah, Jamil, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, turn the
For sure.
notifications on.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
since
All of that.
Ashley,
We need all of that. We need all of that. We need all the love we can get. Like, share, subscribe. And when you see it on Twitter, retweet, like, comment, all of that good stuff, man. We need
thank
it
you,
all.
thank you, man. That sounded great. That's better than I could do. See, I used to have Ashley do it, ask her to do it, and she was the best, man. Ashley tells you to hit the like button. People hit the like button, Jamil.
Yeah, for sure.
So also in here we got Coach DC, all 22 films, the legend right here. Pretty unique depth at O-line this year. Some situations have been surprising. Great point about Powers. Hey, he's probably talking about you, Jamil. You always make great points.
Hey, thank you, all 22. I appreciate it, man. I'm just glad we all see it the same way. With, like I said, with Ben Powers, you know how everyone felt about Ben Powers. So I'm just glad we all see it the same way, and I appreciate you for tuning in.
Yeah, and you know what, Coach DC, while you're in here, Dundalk High School alum, they had Mississippi in the house tonight, today, yesterday, recruiting our left tackle, Jamil. So we got a 6'7" state shot put champion, discus champion, 6'7" left tackle being recruited down the street from me, man.
Ooh.
SEC in the house. So I'm kind of proud. Mentioning that to Coach DC. Retweet whenever I retweet my Dundalk football players, retweet them because it's a very proud moment. They have already have Rutgers and Nebraska there, so it was like slowly building. Now the SEC has entered the building. Congrats to the Dundalk kid, man.
Yeah, for sure. 6'7".
Yeah,
Jeez.
Chimney. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, the last name. I think it's Oda, but or Odo, but Chimney. Yeah, Chimney and Chim's what everybody calls him, man. Getting recruited
Okay.
from Mississippi. Yeah, Kirk is in here too. I think Powers has priced himself out of here. A lot of teams need guard help. Kirk, you see it every year. Jamil, how many weeks do we go in and be like, oh, this team's on their third guard and that's where we're going to attack?
Yeah. Yeah. Kurt, you're completely right, man. We're all on the same page with that one. Like, we see it every week. A lot of teams is, struggling at guard. They need guard help. And Ben Powers is someone that has shown his capabilities and he's leveled up. So, like you said, he's definitely priced himself out. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we're all wrong, but
Yeah.
we see it.
I just feel like we're in a pretty good position. I would say you spend something like a third, fourth round pick on a guard again, and then
Yeah.
you still have Zeitler, you still have Cleveland. You expect Cleveland to take the next step. If Cleveland doesn't, you still have Cologne or McCary you can use at guard in
Yeah.
case Faalele is not ready. So there's like a lot of layers to this line with players under contract for next year. That I'm not. If it was a worse situation, I'd say, man, Jamil, we got to go out and sign a guard. We need a guard or we should make a play for Ben Powers. And we're in a position where a guy like Powers who's going to make his money, we don't have to necessarily like stress over it. I don't want to say worry. You always worry
Yeah.
about your but yeah, it's a nice situation to be in. Brandon's in here. Hopefully the film study was a success showing. If we don't kill ourselves with penalties, we can run and grind any front with our O-line with that old-fashioned game. And Pittsburgh should be easier. Yes. You know what? We talked up that Pittsburgh run defense, and they have been performing well. Ravens took it to them.
They
This
did.
Cleveland run defense. Now, this Cleveland run defense coming up, we got simply previewing the game later. But they kind of shut our running backs down a lot last time. I got the box score and all I'm going to bring up. But they are really hurting, bro. Their first three linebackers, top three, are all missing, out for the season or out for this game. So they're digging deep in the depth chart at linebacker. And we saw
Mhm.
last week Miles Jack, Devin Bush, Robert Spillane. Man, those guys got a absolute headache dealing with the O line and Gus and JK. Man,
Yeah, for sure. They got their hands full this week with the Browns, but like I said, we seen with the run game, and I was bigging up the Steelers' run defense. We all were. I was like, they've been playing really well. They had a good front. They got Cam Hayward, and the linebacker group they have, is pretty stout. So to see us run the ball as well as we did against them, it does nothing but it's very promising for the future and for the games down the road. It's very promising for sure.
hey, by the way, shout out to Chris Wormley. Of course, he kills us every time he plays us. I think he had a sack in that game, wasn't it, Jamil, or a big tackle for loss?
Chris Wormley definitely had a sack.
Yeah. And then he prayers up to him, man. He had to leave that game. So I hope he's okay because he was showing out against us as
Yeah.
usual.
Now I don't
Michael
like the
Brown,
dance he did, but he did a little dance after he did it. I was just like, oh, he's showing off.
wasn't that a little bit adult rated dance, Jamil?
Yeah, I would say it was. It
Yeah, man. Like
absolutely was.
now, my wife was at work, so I'm just gonna make this story up. Like my wife was sitting on the couch, and I had to like cover her eyes, bro. Like she didn't know what to
Chris,
say.
he was doing a little too much, man. A little too much, hip movements. He need
Yeah,
to relax a little bit, man. I know he's excited. He, got a sack on his old team, but he got to relax a little bit.
yeah. He's got a little bit more back there than I do. He did that dance better. Michael Brown. If we can keep this O line together for a couple more years, this offense will be scary. Yeah, I agree, Michael. And you know what I like about it, Jamil, is like you remember like the Steelers line, they were good for a good bit of time, and then they all fell off at once. And then their O line's been terrible for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
The Browns are going through like a similar decline. Jed Wills ain't working out. Jack Conklin's a little older. They lost their center, Ethan Postich. They got what's his face back, Wyatt Teller back. But like you got to keep replenishing that O line
yeah.
constantly.
They lost JC for first. JC Treader was the first piece to, go from the
Right.
Browns O line. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just scrolling through the comments, man. Oh man, I didn't know this. Kirk says Wormley tore his ACL.
Ooh, I didn't even know he got hurt that game. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Prayers up to Chris Wormley, playing well. And I always like
Yeah,
to see our
definitely.
draft picks show out other places. There was a stat earlier this year, Jamil, for as much hard time as we give Mr. DaCosta, because you could second guess any move. But like there were more drafted Ravens in the league than there were from any other team. So like we got Chris Wormley's and Bradley Bozeman's
Right.
and these kind of players everywhere throughout the league, more drafted Ravens than anybody else. So that's a testament to just like the overall scouting, even if we miss here or there, which is going to happen. Or don't pick George Pickens, which drives us crazy. But yeah, yeah, don't say his name on Twitter.
Can't bring his name up. Don't bring his name up. Please don't. Don't even
Yeah.
mention George Pickens.
So this is what it looks like, man. Updated. There's only 4 games left, man. 4 games left. And I want to say this at the beginning, just as there's any confusion. 7 teams make it. Okay. So the top 7 will make it. The first seed gets a bye. And then from there, it's 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. So you see the 4 divisional leaders up at the top. Tennessee, Jamil, I want to start with them. Falling off a cliff, bro. Falling off a cliff. The Jaguars are actually 5 and 8. We're 2 games behind them. And Jaguars kind of took it to them on Sunday, and they got to go to Jacksonville in that last week of the season, if you see. So if Tennessee keeps slipping up, like if they drop this game to the Chargers and drop the game to Dallas is going to be tough. That door could be open, man. First one, heard it here first, Jamil. Jacksonville could be in there like 8 and 8 or something crazy.
Yeah, I wish we could see the rest of
They have Dallas again. They have Dallas again, which was the toughest game. but they do play in the AFC South. If
Yeah,
you want to bring that up, you can.
yeah,
But
yeah. I'm looking at it right now. So Jacksonville, they have the Jets, they have the Texans, and they finish off with the Titans. But they do have Dallas
right.
um, this week coming up. But the Jaguars got a little bit of a tough road ahead as well. It's going to be interesting to see though with the Titans and the Jaguars. That's going to be something to monitor for sure.
Yeah, because if you
Definitely.
think about it, all right, in the next three, if Jacksonville goes 2-1, so if they beat Houston and whoever else you said, I forget who else was the other.
If they beat Houston and the Titans,
Houston and well, yeah, but there was a game before that. What's
yeah,
their game?
you have the Jets and the
Okay,
Cowboys.
the
Yeah.
Jets. So even if they lose to the Cowboys, if they beat the Jets and
Hmm.
they beat the Houston team, and Tennessee, if you look, they lose to the Chargers and they lose their Dallas game, then all of a sudden Jacksonville's only going to be one game behind them going into
Right.
that last game. So
Right.
Jacksonville could win. So
Yeah.
something to watch in the AFC South, some action going in there, sneaky action. But that
Yeah.
Tennessee at LA, the LA Chargers game, is going to be interesting, man. You like anybody in that game?
I personally will go with the Chargers in that game. If you had to ask me right now, I would probably go with the Chargers over Tennessee right now.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too. So if you if Jacksonville beats the Jets or coming up, and oh yeah, I see them 2 weeks. They play the Jets. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jets there with Jacksonville. It was right on the screen, bro. Um, but yeah, the Ravens now at Cleveland. This is the third out of the fourth game in a row at on the road, which is always tough.
Yeah.
We get to two home games. Cincinnati. Let's talk about them this week again.
Ooh.
Just tough, bro. They look tough even without T. Higgins.
Yeah. Hey, Cincinnati, man, they're knocking on that door. They're knocking on that door. I expect them to take care of business versus Tampa Bay. That's just even though they're playing in Tampa Bay, I expect them to take care of business. And then the rest of their schedule, it's going to be up in the air, man. It's like whoever created the schedule knew what they were doing. It's like they were able to see what was going to be the outcome, and they got us playing them week 18. And
Yup.
usually week 18 games is like, that's kind of like a lot of teams are resting their starters. But for us, that's a big game. That's a really big game for Baltimore and Cincinnati. And then they have Buffalo. So they play Buffalo in Cincinnati, and then they have us in Cincinnati. And then, I think they can get Tampa Bay in New England.
Okay.
Honestly.
I'm hoping they drop one of the next two, you know what I mean, on the
Yeah.
road. And
Yeah.
then that Buffalo game is going to be tough for them because
Mhm.
it would be nice. Like, I could see a scenario where, all right, Buffalo and Kansas City lock up the 1 and 2 seeds, right? So we can't catch
Mhm.
them. And then we just talked about how bad Tennessee's doing in Jacksonville. So we ain't going to fall below them. So I could see a scenario where we're locked into the 3 seed. You know what I mean? Like, even
Yeah.
if we lose to Cincinnati, we'd still have the tiebreaker. So if we pick up a game on Cincinnati in these next 3 weeks, we can be locked into that 3 seed and actually rest people ourselves that last week against Cincinnati. Like
Yeah.
we'd have the whole, do you want to try to put Cincy out or not? But looking at Cincy's record, I don't think they're finishing 8th in this conference anytime soon.
No, 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 no. I think Cincy at most will probably stay at 5. Like I think it's a good chance that I can see them dropping. Mm, Miami
This is the
fading.
thing, though. This is the thing. What Shimshaw was saying. Miami's fading, bro. They went to San Francisco, lost. They went to the
Yeah,
Chargers, lost. Tua started 3 for 17. I see in the
right,
comments passing. Now Miami's got to go to Buffalo.
right.
Then they got a New England, Green Bay. They still got Green Bay in there too. But
Uh-huh.
um, the Jets, like Miami, dude, it's going to be interesting to see because that team, like I feel like the Chargers are going to come up a little bit. I feel like Miami could dip.
Yeah, I agree. Remember, me and you were talking, and I was like, it's kind of weird seeing how Miami usually for the last like 2 years, under Brian Flores, they would start off slow. They'll be terrible. Then they'll go on a crazy win streak where they'll win like 7 games. They did it last year, and then they did it the year before, and then now it seemed like it's reversed. Now they started off crazy, and now it seemed like they're just losing game after game after game. It's like a reverse. Usually they start off slow and then they heat up. So yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know what? Coach DC brings this up. One fumble recovery away in Jacksonville from being 10-3. It's so true. And then, like in that Jacksonville game that we lost, won the 2 point conversion. There's probably like I want to Jamil. I want to say like 5 plays. If any of them go our way, we that game's over. And Jacksonville came through on all five. Shout out to Trevor Lawrence, man. I will say, I mean, he's playing really well. So he's
Yeah.
finally starting to develop. So we say we take a look at this run game now, Jamil. Just to get in the groove, and I want anybody, if the film is fuzzy in the comments, could you please put that? I'm hoping this film comes through clear for you. Um, Jamil, I'm gonna run through a couple of plays, run my mouth, and then come to you for comment. That way we can keep it moving. When we have Simply come on, we'll be ready for him. All right.
All right.
So, dude, we're gonna see a bunch of different stars. It's gonna be everybody's gonna be highlighted here once or twice. So we'll see this run by J.K. Dobbins, and then just look at him bounce outside and find out the hole was clogged, and we see the lateral movement. So there's a few guys on this play that I want to highlight. You got Pat Ricard on the left. Let's watch Pat Ricard go to work. It looks like he wants to help Ronnie Stanley chip, but Ronnie's got it. So he climbs straight to the second level, and look at him give Miles Jack not getting close to that tackle, Jamil.
It was beautiful. That was beautiful. Pat Ricard, very, very, very instinctive on that play. Very, very his awareness is top notch there. You know, he notices that Ronnie got his job, you know, taken care of. So he climbs, like you said. But also TCC, man, like we just was talking about him. See how quick look how quick he's pulling there from the guard spot to get out
So
there.
glad you brought that up. Look how quick out of his stance TCC is.
Super fast.
Moses is not slow either, but look, TCC's in full stride.
He's already, yeah.
And rocks Devin Bush, bro. Look at that. Absolutely rocks Devin Bush.
Absolutely.
This is 2/3 speed. So you see a helmet fly. And then Moses, I think, does a good job because he comes and cleans up the trash. He can't quite get to where he wants to get to through that hole, but he takes up 2 guys. And then I love JK at the end, seeing that, look, I'm following Morgan Moses. Okay, JK's following Morgan Moses, trying up the hole closes. JK bounces it out for another 5. So some crafty running. Thank you, Jeff J. I see you say it's coming okay. Next run, again, the cutback by Dobbins. So look, Jamil, you know, his top end speed, obviously, as we'll see later, isn't quite there. Let's put it, that's to be nicely. I'll put it nicely. But this cutback right here is sweet. And I love the way Ben Powers sticks on his guy. He's the one that makes a key block here. Check out Ben Powers. It's a run to the right, gets clogged up. He's going to find Devin Bush. And a lot of guys in that kind of situation, we give up because obviously the run is designed to go the other way. So I'm not really doing a big job here, you know, but Ben Powers sticks with his guy, stays disciplined, and finds somebody to block when 9 out of 10 times this block wouldn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you think, right, if he doesn't do his job there, Devin Bush makes an easy tackle. And that gain, it goes from right in that he's tackled right there at the logo. So he might have gained, 3 yards at the most? But
right.
That's like a 10 plus yard gain just from Ben Powers making that one decision to peek over and see Devin Bush and just put hands on him. You know, those are the plays that were when we see Ben Powers and we're like, this is probably why he will not be in Baltimore next year.
Another good block by Powers here, CJ. And this is late, bro. Right there. Now, I understand you ride them out of bounds. You can get a little rough with them, you know, because they're not quarterbacks. But as we watch this again, I'm just going to vent. They're blowing the whistle, bro. You know you're out of bounds right here, and I didn't like that. I thought that should have been a roughing call. So we're looking at Pat Ricard. We're looking at Ben Cleveland here, and we're looking at Tyler Linderbaum snapping the ball. Let's watch Tyler first. Nice combo block by Tyler. Opens that door wide open. That is the Tyler Linderbaum we've come to know and love. And then right next to him, Ben Cleveland. Watch him take over Cam Hayward here and make Cam Hayward look small, disappear. Look. Perfect. Perfect, Jamil, between Linderbaum and Cleveland.
Hey, man, this was the play where I said this is why Ravens fans, including myself, wanted Tyler Linderbaum. Didn't want him at 14. Just wanted to clear that up. But I did want us to draft him at some point in the draft, whether it was late first or whatever. But his instincts, he's just very instinctive. He's quick. He's light on his feet. And it's like his head is always on the swivel. Like he's always, like you said earlier, he's always left to right, left to right. And he's always getting his hands on guys, man. If like just like kind of the same thing Ben Powers did just a few plays ago. Like if he doesn't get his hands on Devin Bush, the same linebacker, you know, that gain is impossible. And then you see Ben Cleveland being the big mountain that he is, he's just shadowing guys. He's just, you can't even see Cam Hayward at some point. It's like he disappeared. So I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Powers does a good job here too on Wormley. There's just only so many guys I wanted to highlight, but Pat Ricard knocks the snot out of his guy too. I guess that's Miles Jack again.
Oh yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yep.
It's beautiful. Much. So again, we're getting everybody involved here. Everybody involved. This is the touchdown run. And Pat Ricard, I think, is the man on this one, bro. He carries him into the end zone at the end.
Did he lift him like a baby just now?
Yes, he did. C42 is on the end at tight end. Pat Ricard lined up at tight end. Comes, chips on 99, sees Devin Bush. I'm going to pick him off. And then, there's JK. Let me lift him into the end zone. Watch Pat Ricard again. Chip, climb, combo block, hits Devin Bush, sees, now that I threw Devin Bush out the way, let me go ahead and carry JK in.
That's exactly what he did.
Ben Powers is highlighted with the pull here. So you see Ben Powers get up and find little Minka Fitzpatrick and smash him. Hard for a guard to block a safety like Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, for sure. They can slip the block and things like that. So very impressive, man. Ben Powers has been very, very, very surprising, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yep. Very surprising. Like the
cool thing is there seems to be there's some confusion with Morgan Moses and Ricard with how to pass that off. Like Moses looks like he wants to climb. 99 does a good job of kind of splitting that double team. But Ricard keeps going and finishes off his guy, even though Moses doesn't have anybody to block. You see, Moses wants to get the Bush. He can't. Improvising Ravens just block somebody, Jamil. But yeah, I love the way. And then Mark Andrews over here handling TJ Watt, on that play as well. You can barely see Mark in your screen. But
I see that. Yeah, I mean, but we realized that last year, right? Mark improved drastically as a blocker. Is from the tight end spot. Like his improvement as a blocker, because remember it was he's a receiving tight end. The same thing that we're saying about Likely right now were the same things we were saying about Mark Andrews, and now look at him. He's blocking TJ Watt. So
yeah, and not only that, Josh Oliver's another guy blocking tight end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some here. Block user. Don't worry, Shrimp Trawler. I didn't block you, buddy. I had to block sexfine.biz.
Oh man, what is?
Yeah.
Hey Jay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I try to say it in a humorous way, man. So, Big Ben Cleveland going to be highlighted here. You want to talk about something that can get you going? It's Ben Cleveland. Maybe more than the .biz over there. So here we go. Ben Cleveland going to get a highlight block in here, man. Miles Jack, he doesn't want to play the Ravens anymore. And then he pats him on the back. Nice job, Miles.
Who pat? Oh man, someone patted him on the back. Oh,
yeah, watch Ben Cleveland again. He destroys Miles Jack, climbs up. Nice run by Gus, and then watch him. Good job, buddy. Nice job. Keep going. They insult to injury, man.
I was like, man, don't you pat me. That's what I'd have did. Man, don't pat my back after what you just did to me.
I'm kind of a sore loser. I would have smacked your hand away for sure.
Yeah, man. My wife's watching. That's what I'd have said. If I'm Miles Jack, I got to sleep on the couch just because you pancaked me today.
Also, this is a nice job by Tyler Linderbaum. Borderline hold. He just basically does everything right to let Gus slip by, but you see it. You know what I mean? But I couldn't leave off a Ben Cleveland pancake. You know what I mean? I had to throw that in there, bro.
No, for sure.
Gus Edwards.
Flapjacks.
Love this play. This is all Gus, man. All Gus.
Underrated.
I mean, look where he has nowhere to go. You see Morgan Moses, number 78, gets dominated on this play. You see that, Jamil? That causes Ricard to have to pick up Wormley, I
Yeah,
believe that is. But all Gus, I mean, this is a first down, 10-plus yard gain there just on the back of Gus Edwards. But yeah, when Moses gets blocked, it blows this whole thing up. The hole is
thank
not.
thank thank Ricard, man. If Ricard wasn't there, that play is done for. I would like to say maybe Gus Edwards could break that tackle, maybe not, but we just got to be thankful and appreciative that Pat Ricard was there to clean that up.
And it's a shame because look at this hole on the left that starts getting created.
Yeah, right. Yep, between Linderbaum and Stamp. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. Like Gus was pressing it right, it looked like. But he could, once that linebacker, Miles Jack follows
Was
him
it a
right.
hole between? Oh no, it wasn't. Okay, I see why he bounced it outside. Because Terrell Edmonds, it looked like he would have filled in that hole right there. So I would have bounced it outside too.
This was an important run, Jamil. You probably remember this one. We're back on the 1 yard line. We get that little pass just to give us some breathing room. But we still we didn't want to punt it back to him at midfield or the 40-yard line. Like,
Yeah,
we get out of there at this point in the game. I like this run by J.K. Dobbins here. Ronnie Stanley leading the way. And that little jump cut, bro, he's not full speed, but, man, his jump cut is nasty. And we'll get to see a lot of people on this one. Check out 79, Ronnie Stanley. He's going to make the key pull block on this play. Let's watch Ronnie. Gets there very quickly, sees the missed block by Ricard, and just flattens 55.
Stanley is amazing, bro. Like, he's amazing. It's like, you when you see him play, you like, that's why he's getting paid the money he's getting paid.
Yeah. Ben Powers, 72 with this pull. His little kick out block here. And you see he gets that little extra, man. I love the way Powers stuck with him. A lot of times you'll see the defender bounce off the guard, Jamil. And then he's able to make a play. But watch Powers stick.
Finishing his breakfast, man.
That little extra stick.
Yep. Doing his job.
And there's 51 again. Miles Jack just having a rough day, bro. And then 78, Morgan Moses right there at right tackle. He's going to block Chris Wormley and turn and seal. That was one of the things that I think Zeus didn't do well. Well, he's a great run blocker, Zeus. But Zeus did not engage and move his hips like Morgan Moses does here.
Yeah.
And completely wall off the guy. You would see people kind of get away from Zeus and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Morgan Moses has his moments, both good and bad. And then, of course, here's the game. Here's the run to seal it. Let's set this run up properly. It is 3rd and 3. The Ravens get 3 yards. The Steelers have no timeouts. They can take a knee from here. So you need 3 yards on this play. The Steelers know it. I'm counting 8 Steelers in the box right there against a 2 tight end set, basically. Again, calling Ricard a tight end. Y'all want to know why I call him a tight end most of the time, Jamil? How many times we see Pat Ricard line up at tight end? So, yeah, he does fullback stuff, but he's also a blocking tight end, probably our best blocking tight end. 3 yards, dude. That's where we need to get. You can see the ball on the 2nd yard marker from the 5. So they got to get it 1 yard past that big line right there. And who you want to watch first? You want to watch Mark Andrews, Pat Ricard? We start from Mark's side, or you want to start from Ben Powers' side?
I want to start from Ben Powers. Just go that way. Yeah.
All right. So you see Ben Powers. He is the left guard. He is the guy circled on your right, right in front of the running back and quarterback. And he's going to be asked to pull once again. Again, we need 3 yards. We don't need 10. We don't need 5. We just need 3. Finds his man, and that's what you need to do. Again, smaller linebacker and Robert Spillane. The linebackers really had a hard time. And Jamil, in a situation like this, everybody knows what's happening with the ball. They know they're running it. Spillane's going to crash. And it's just not good enough, bro.
No, Ben Powers doing his job, putting his hands on the guy, getting the hat on the guy, just doing his job, man. It's not fancy. He's not, trying to do too much. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, getting his hands on the guy, wiping him out the play, and allowing Gus to, get those extra yards.
Love Morgan Moses on this play. He's 78. He is in the middle. Watch him wrench number 99, get him off balance. Just create a clear lane, man. Like all you need to do is get your guy out of the way or maintain for just a 2 second, a second or two to let Gus get that 3 yards, and Gus ends up getting like 6 or 7. It looks like.
Yeah.
On the end, Mark Andrews, his job here with the game on the line. All right, block T.J. Watt. All right, game on the line, tight end. We're going to ask you to do what not a lot of tackles can do: block T.J. Watt. So that's Mark's job on this play, and it's not a spectacular block or anything, but it's enough. You see him anchor down. T.J. Watt setting the edge, can't get off there, and you see the celebration. Just a great job by everybody. Ricard finishes the game with a pancake here. You see him on Devin Bush, drives. I guess I call that you call that pancake for Ricard here.
Oh yeah, that's a flapjack for sure, with syrup and butter. And if you like blueberries, that's up to you. But that's definitely a pancake.
Ravens celebrate. Ravens win 16-14. The film worked, bro. The film worked. Always got to hold my breath on that. Always got to hold my breath.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about Tyler Huntley, man. He runs a little bit reckless, Jamil. Makes me nervous, as you know what. Man.
Yeah, he runs how people say 8 run. Well, how they say, yeah, people say, oh, Lamar needs to protect himself. Well, Huntley needs to protect himself for sure. He takes a lot of hits. And I think just to be what I think it is, and this is just, I just think it's the different style of runners. He's not able to avoid tackles as well as Lamar is. So I think a lot of it has to do with that. Like, I do think there's times where he could just get that first down and go out of bounds type of thing. Like, get the yards and go out of bounds. But like that, like I always see Lamar, like he'll dip, duck, juke. Like he's just really elusive and good at avoiding tackles. Whereas Huntley, he doesn't have that. I mean, he can still run, but he doesn't have that running style.
Yeah, you know what, Shrimp Trawler, this is what I say. Like the reason I think part of the reason Lamar got stereotyped so heavy. Of course, there's other reasons that I really ain't gonna get into his show. But he not only is he a black quarterback, but he's RG3 ran like Huntley did. So I think when Lamar came in, everybody the first thing in their head was RG3. How RG3 if Lamar runs like that, he's gonna get killed. To your point and the Shrimp Trawler's point, Lamar doesn't run like RG3 or Tyler Huntley. Lamar is one of the shiftiest guys in the business. Just has a knack to get down without getting hit, man. Like it's no coincidence his injuries have come in the pocket, because when you're dealing with Lamar in space, it's like good luck squaring him up, man. It just doesn't happen very often.
For sure. So, can you say that again? You said all of his injuries happen where?
In the pocket. Like he got concussed in the pocket. He got hurt in the pocket against Cleveland last year. And then again this year he's in the pocket. Like when Lamar's in the open field, I mean, you're just so worried about being able to get a handle on him.
Yeah.
And his vision is top notch. There's a reason he sees people coming from a mile away. Like the pocket's where you get blindsided, Jamil, not out in space.
Hey, man. I always said that, but
nobody listens to us.
Nobody listens, man. Nobody listens.
So, question from Shrimp Trawler: would Ben Cleveland hold up for 4 quarters with his fitness? I will go first, and I will say there's only one way to find out, man. Throw him out there, see what he's got. You got Tristan Colon out there, but we'll never know. There's really no way for me to speculate. I think that's a legitimate question, but one that I don't have the answer to.
I think we'll find out next year. I'll just say that. I think it's a chance we'll find out next year when he's plugged in at that left guard spot. I think if we don't retain Ben Powers, I think we'll find out next year what Ben Cleveland is all about. As long as he passes his conditioning test.
Yeah, please. Don't stop with the beer, bro. Get a yoga mat.
And the squirrels too.
Yeah, and alleged squirrels, man. Like, get yourself a yoga mat. I want to see Ben Cleveland go into get a pair of spandex and a yoga mat, bro, and try to stretch out, because he looks really, really stiff in the hips and everywhere else. Like, you're powerful enough. Ben Cleveland, you're powerful. Dude, you're strong enough. Let's get some flexibility. You'll become stronger if you just get some flexibility in there. You know how, like, Jamil, it's not the stocky boxers that are usually the most powerful. It's the lanky dudes.
Yeah.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like if Ben Cleveland wants it, he needs to get a little bit of flexibility in there so he can
Mm-hmm.
really get them hands good, man.
Yeah,
I
sure.
truly mean that. I ain't even joking, man. I truly mean
No,
that.
I think Ben Cleveland. I mean, a couple of my friends, we were joking about Ben Cleveland being, stiff, robotic type, and about him taking up yoga. So yeah, I think he definitely needs to invest.
Hey, man, astute point from Mark here. I had to bring this up before I forgot. Cleveland seems to show up for these Steelers games. Gotta love it. Mark, his best game, I'm sure you know, is why you said it, was that Steelers game last year, the last game of the season that got everybody excited. Like, I always remember it because it was the last game of the season, Jameel, so it was easy to remember. When was it? Well, it was the last game of the season. And then also coming into this year is why I thought, man, Cleveland could be an absolute maniac because he was taking it to Cam Hayward in that game like all day long at left guard.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, Ben Cleveland. I remember that game was the game that people thought, oh yeah, he's definitely going to be the left guard next year. Yeah.
So, Mark, man, I really, really appreciate good to see you in here. Um, how are you feeling about this team for since we had our guest on? As far as like, I'm just kind of enjoying the ride. We got a
Mm-hmm.
major problem with the pass offense, but everything
Mm-hmm.
else looks really good. And I'm just hoping that like, look, Lamar's going to get back. We're going to be the healthiest we've been this year. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
protect Lamar. We're going to be able to run the ball with J.K. and Gus. We
Mm-hmm.
got Paul Hawks in the secondary. We got a run unit, probably the best in the NFL now. Like we've caught up to San Francisco in the numbers even. And it's just can we get some kind of passing game going? Can we get Andrews back involved, man? It's just that's kind of how I'm feeling about this team. I'm kind of like wait and see. I know it's a very good team. It's a fun gate team to watch. I'm enjoying football Sundays. You're in every game with this team, but I'm just there's that cloud hanging over the head. Like I want to see Lamar throw for 250 and hit a couple of bombs or something, man.
Yeah. So for me, I just want I just want them to execute, right? Some plays are there and we missed the opportunities. Um we've missed opportunities to make big plays. I just want to see them connect because our offense is a little different. Um we cling on to those plays so much because we know that they're not, they're not like frequent in our offense. We're not going to have 5 and 4 and 5 different opportunities where we're hitting a deep shot down the field. It's not, so our offense is more like, you know, I don't want to say it's like conservative, but it's like where our passing game is like when that one play is there, you have to hit it. Even though it's kind of like football isn't perfect, but you almost have to be perfect in our offense. You can't really make no mistakes. You can't really, turn the ball over because, like I said, it comes back to bite us later on. That's just where I'm at with the team. I think running the football, I have no worries. It's just as far as throwing the football, I think we just need to connect on those plays a little bit more. Those
Yeah.
opportunities.
I mean, they're low percentage plays for a reason. You're throwing the ball all the way downfield, but like you're saying, if we saw a couple of times, even with Lamar in there, where if there's a busted coverage and the guy's running wide open, you got to lay it up to him, give him a chance to catch the ball. Like those are the kind of plays that you mean, and I totally agree with you. Because sometimes you're not going to lose the turnover or you're going to lose the turnover battle, or you're not going to win it. Say, the Ravens, by the way, Jameel, second in turnovers,
Yeah,
second in turnover differential. Like, I really like the added sacks and the added turnovers of this defense for all its problems. But as far as like the big play in the pass game, but yeah, man, I'm enjoying it, dude. I think it's a fun team to watch. I really do. As far as like physical football, we're going to be in every game, and like when Lamar gets back, especially, I'm just a firm believer that if Lamar Jackson's your quarterback and you can protect him, that you can win any game. Like yes, even versus that team, you can win that game too.
yeah. I agree. I think eight gives you that competitive edge in every game. Like as long as he's at quarterback, you feel like you have an opportunity to win. So I think I agree with you. I'm just waiting to see what they do. These last few games. I'm just waiting to see, man. I'm got my popcorn ready, but I can't wait for LJ to get back.
Me too. Me too. Looks like another week of Tyler Huntley. So, can I get a thumbs up in the waiting room from our guest, man? I got one. So, here we go, Jameel. This week's guest, a man that I admire for his YouTube channel, but I also admire him Because he came to visit me. Now, I don't want to spread his business out there, but this man came and visit me. So let's bring him on right now. The best in the business when it comes to highlights, Mr. Simply
Thank
ASD.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How's it going, Jason and Jamil? Nice to meet you. We've had some great interactions on Twitter, but
Absolutely.
face to face now.
Yes, sir.
So,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you guys are having a great night. About to get some weather in Maryland. Fun times.
Yeah.
So see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. I saw Ashley freaking out about the snow in Maryland. And I told her simply, this is what I said. Of course, I got blamed for the weather. She said, "Don't put that snow jinx on me." But you're going to be inside most of the time, Ashley. You're not going to be hanging outside talking to the neighbors.
Exactly.
You're not going sledding.
No.
You can wear what you want to wear and look good and be comfortable and all that. You just sit in the house like Alex. It's like there's the people from Florida think we just sit up here in a freezing cold house.
Right. Right. Like we can have fun when it's cold outside, So a good old snowball fight never hurt anybody, and maybe has, but it really. But yeah, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And simply put you on the spot a couple more times here. What did you think of Miss Huddle It Up Films?
Loved her. It was dope. It was freaking dope. And the food we got, I don't know, you can give them a shout out. That was amazing. I've never had that in my life. Great food. Amazing food.
Corella's. So, Jamil, you missed this, man, but Lamar went and ate at Corella's, which is our go-to spots real close to us. And we were all mad that, you know what I mean? Like, we missed Lamar. We didn't know he was there. Of course, he did call me and tell me he was going, but
Right.
so we all wanted to know what Lamar got to see if he got the same things that we get. Could we get the same thing all the time?
Right.
So Alex comes up here and orders, and son of a, you know what? Lamar orders what he orders and what my wife orders. So I got left out in the cold. Lamar and Simply have the same taste in food. Jamil, break that down from an analytic standpoint.
Man, look, man, it's just great minds think alike, man. Simply, he's amazing at what he does with his, the highlight videos, and then Lamar is amazing at what he does. So when you have two great minds that just think alike, man, taste buds is the same. That's just how I look at it. By any chance, are we gonna, we're gonna leak out what the food was? I'm interested. What was the food?
Go for it, Jason.
See, you don't remember either, do you?
I don't remember what I wore last week, so I'll be honest.
I don't. Oh man. Now I want to say it was some kind of souvlaki. And that's about the best I can.
What is Corella's though? Like, because I'm not. Where is that?
It is a Greek restaurant, right close to Dundalk, man. It's
okay. It's Greek food.
Technically in the city. It's the city, but it's close to us where they deliver to us. So.
Oh, okay.
That's and dope. It's getting, our resident Greek food expert, Alec Polianos. Notice by the last name, this man knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
Corella's is the one, bro. Even Alec comes down here. Thank you. Yes.
There it is. That's it. That's the one.
Souvlaki and the Euro fries. He makes fun of me because Jamil, I called them gyro fries. How about yourself, sir?
I too say gyro. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Euro, like a Euro step.
Is wow. So the G is okay. Euro fries. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's Lamar's go-to meal. So if you want to run, throw, and talk like Lamar Jackson, be as cool as him, chicken souvlaki, Euro fries. And of course, he's got to bring it up. He's been making Greek Christmas cookies. Sorry for being late. Yeah, we know, Alec. You got plenty of skills. Excuse me. Almost made me cuss here on the program. Mark says he's heard Euro pronounced about 10 different ways. Look, Alex Greek, he calls it Euro. I call it Euro. Mark, I have to defer to him. So yeah. Man, some life lessons here on the program. Yes. So Alec, I want to bring up, I don't want to spend too much time on this today because the obvious with the Cleveland Browns, they have a brand new quarterback. So I can kind of take some of these numbers and just, all right, they are what they are. We're just going to look at them real quick. Alec, the Ravens point per game, bro, we were close to 30 points. We were top 5. We're all the way down to 12th in the league. That Browns defense, though, Alex, sitting there at 24.8 points per game, which is 27th in the league. Not a very good defense, and they're missing their top 3 linebackers, Owusu Karamoa, Taki, and Jacob Phillips, all out. they're at the backups at the linebacker spot right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw yesterday JOK won an injured reserve, and I remember out the draft, I thought he was an amazing prospect. And then the whole like hard situation dropped him, and of course he goes to the Browns, and he played some really good games against us. He actually, I think he was the one who hurt Lamar last year on that.
He
That
was.
was him. Yeah. So even that's even good. He's not playing, but I think this is a game where it's gonna be run, 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 very little passing. I'm expecting an ugly game. I think we're on prime time, but just get ready for a typical Ravens game. Great defense and just running the ball. But I think it works out in our favor. I am kind of worried about their offense. I'm not going to lie, because nobody knows what Ford can do at this point. Bad first game, a little bit of a better second game, but the Browns, they love the Ravens are their Super Bowl. We see it every year, it feels like. So they're going to play us to their hardest. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Jameel, I'm feeling what Alex said, man. It's just going to be a run, 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 run. And, even with Huntley, it's a good time to mention Jameel. Huntley was a full practice today, but he still hasn't cleared concussion protocol. So we're hopeful. It looks good. But with those things, bro, you never know. And it's like the Secret Service with what the concussion procedures are for good reasons, in my opinion, Jameel. Like, we don't need to know all that about the guys. You know what I mean? That's personal kind of business. But hopefully we'll have Huntley back this week.
I think it's a good chance he plays. I think the Ravens are just, they're very discreet about their injuries and the information they give out. So I think Huntley plays, though. I think we'll probably hear something by like closer to the end of the week, maybe. Well, today is Wednesday, so probably by Friday we'll know something as far as his game status and everything. But I think Huntley has a good shot at playing. I think you should be worried if he wasn't a full participant, right? I think that's a really good sign to point to, him being a full participant at practice.
Yeah, and there was even a note from one of you guys probably saw it on Twitter. He was practicing with a helmet on. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I had more information about what's good and what's not, but that seems good to me. So hopefully, and Alex, we were talking about them quarterback runs earlier. I don't want to see Snoop on any design runs, especially coming in with a head injury, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching the game, just especially up the middle. I'm fine with something outside where he can run out of bounds or even slide. Just up the middle, it's like you're sending him just in a car crash at that point. He's not getting out of that feeling good, so I don't want any of that, honestly. And even last week, I'm just like, why? I think he had one of them, and then he's playing with fire. Did it twice, and it bit you in the butt.
Yep. I mean, dude, at Jameel, it wasn't like Gus and AK were slacking. Like, we had some options in the run game, man. We didn't need to be running Huntley.
Nah, I agree, man. And like we spoke earlier, right? Huntley's just not. He's not as elusive. He's not, evasive. He's not ducking and dodging these hits. It's like he's just taking Lamar. When he goes up the middle, it's like Lamar dips to the ground really low and he avoids a lot of tackles. He's just, Huntley doesn't have that skill set, and that's okay. So I think, with that being said, they need to just be a little bit more careful how they run them. Like Simply said, a little bit more to the outside, let them slide, things of that nature. Get out of bounds. Just kind of reiterating that throughout the week at practice, and before the game, make sure when you run, if you do run, please get down, get out of bounds. We're not taking any hits. You just got out of the concussion.
It's tough because he wants to show out. He's playing for his future. I mean, if it was you know what I mean? You want those extra yards too. You want to do what Lamar does. It's just what Lamar does is like not humanly possible. It's like he does not take up hits even when he goes up the middle. Now, I don't like to cover Simply's face. Sutton looked above it, Simply. So if you got any skills, I don't know if there he is.
There we go.
But we got a big super chat that just warms my heart from Mr. Polianis himself. Grab yourself the Lamar special, Brother Jay. Thanks for the Cologne and Cleveland cut up. Very welcome. Hope you guys enjoyed that. You can really tell, Alex, it was nice seeing Cologne and Cleveland work together. They were just like two different style players doing the same thing, both effective. It was just really cool to see. But, Alec, thank you. Thank you very much, the super chat donation. Very appreciated. What do you say on your program, Alex? I put Sutton to the test when he was on here. How would you describe it? Alex super chat there.
Making it rain. Making it rain. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pulling up from the parking lot. I think I heard you say.
We have pulling up from the parking lot, pulling up from the bleachers. We have that. We have pulling up from like the last row in the nosebleeds. We have that.
All right. So I'm gonna stop you there. How would you describe Alex's donation here?
That
Alex,
right there is full court Stephen Curry. Personally,
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I work hard for my money when I do work.
Yes.
$20 is something else. So just a transition back though. Alec got me all flustered there, sir. Way to go. The Browns' rush defense isn't good. Okay, 22nd in the league, allowing 4.8 yards per carry, and like I said, they're down to their lost 3 linebackers, so they're in bad shape. The Ravens' pass offense, man, the numbers are worse than what they look like. The Browns have a good secondary. Alex, kicking it to you, brother. They got Ward, Greg Newsome at the corner. They got help me out with the safeties here for a second. Grant Delpit and I'm forgetting John Johnson. Yeah. Dude, they got a really nice secondary, so it's going to be hard to throw the ball on them no matter who you are. You see their ranks there in the pass defense. Only 27 sacks. This is what I wanted to ask you guys about for our pass offense here real quick. Now, Myles Garrett, last game, I did a cut up. He barely went over on Ronnie Stanley's side, Alex. He was like going after Morgan Moses the whole time, and of course, Myles Garrett had success. What this tells me, Alex, is we're going to need to put Oliver in there or Ricard to help out Morgan Moses with Myles Garrett.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys this because you guys are great football minds. What's up with Boyle? Is he just not him anymore with the injury? I thought he was regarded as one of the best blocking tight ends, and him inactive I got last week. But even we're seeing Oliver more in blocking than Boyle. Has he regressed since that injury in New England? I think in 2020. Is that why?
I mean, it's just really sad.
Yeah,
that's what I would say about it. It's just really sad because he was one of my favorite players to watch on tape, and now it's like I don't know. He can handle people like you see Ricard handle people, or like a tackle just wrestle with you in upper body, and it's just not there anymore. I really thought that this is, I guess, one of the reasons the players love the Ravens, Jameel, because we didn't just box this man up and throw him in the trash can. We gave him if you remember, he took like a little pay cut over the summer, restructured that thing, and we're kind of doing him on a solid in case we need him. But honestly, man, at this point in time, like I just haven't seen any effectiveness even in the limited snaps he's been in there, Jameel.
Yeah, with Nick Boyle, I just think it's at that point of his career where it's time for him and the Ravens, just to move on. I think him taking up a roster spot at this point, it really doesn't do anyone any good. I think we have Oliver, who's emerged as a really great blocker. We have our tight end one in Mark Andrews, and then Likely, and then Charlie Kolar. We have him too, who people are waiting to see him be active and things of that nature. So I think it's just time. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say I think it's time. I know it's time. We know the Ravens are probably going to move on from Boyle after this season. Like it's trending that way when he's continuously inactive, and then when he's active, he's barely even on the field. So
you know what, Alex, and it's like this is one of those things in which I just like I want to be, I'm always like, why isn't this guy active, and why isn't that, like I love, but like when it comes to Nick Boyle, I can't even bring myself to like just call for his exit because it just hurts, bro. Like I know that injury was so brutal. It wasn't anything he did. He went from one of the best in the game to what he did to a shell of himself with one cheap shot from a guy that played 4 games in the league, Terez Hall. And was out of there just like that, trying to make a name for himself. So I get sad, bro. But yeah, in my opinion, Alex, like, yes, we should let go of Nick Boyle. I don't think anybody's claiming him off the, to put him on the roster. Put him on the practice squad, bro. Give Kolar his shot, Alex. That's what I say.
No, I get that. I just think his story, like you said, it's sad because he's like one of the longest tenured Ravens. He had the PED issues, kind of got put in the doghouse, makes an amazing comeback. Roar with an extension, playing great football in 2019, 2020, gets hurt, and then since then it just kind of went downhill. So that was just just interested in that.
Jamil, Alex don't miss a thing, bro. He's got to bring up the suspension and everything. You see this guy down there?
Hey, look, man. Hey,
Part of the
honest,
story.
man. We gotta talk about it all, right?
Yeah.
Talk about it all, man.
I mean, bro, Alex has got a good memory. That's why I said that. That's why I said
for sure.
With sports, not with anything else.
I didn't even know Nick Boyle. If I did know, I didn't remember it. So, yeah.
Yeah. When's my birthday, Alex? You don't know, do you?
You never told me.
I see.
Never.
Well, you remember? I never told you.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you now either. I don't do that thing. The Browns offense. Let's not go into it too much, but obviously the Ravens run defense is what I want to point out there. Look at those beautiful numbers, bro. 81.2 yards a game. We're almost caught up to the 49ers, who have been dominant. 3.8 yards per carry. Our pass defense is here or there with 39 sacks is 5th in the league. This is really what I want to look at. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I blew it up as big as I could. Yeah. Alex, this is the box score from the last Ravens-Browns game.
Okay.
The Ravens would win this game 23-20. It was National Tight Ends Day. If you remember, Mark Andrews did not have a catch on National Tight Ends Day. You can see Andrews on the right there. 2 targets, no catches for nothing. Andrews had that one run, and he did the old pitch it to Lamar Jackson. They got a crucial first down late in the game. But this was a Jacoby Brissett game, and Brissett was extremely efficient, Alex, 22-27. And, bro, this was like kind of a heart-wrenching game. You know, this was a heart-wrenching game. You see Lamar only 16 pass attempts on that day, man. Do you remember? How well do you remember this game? Talking about your memory.
Too well. My heart's like sunk when Cooper caught the touchdown on Peters and they called it back for OPI. And I didn't think they were going to call that. I was not expecting them to actually call the OPI in that part of the game, but they did. Then Malik Harrison with the block field goal. Shout out to just the linebackers, even back then, are making plays and still making plays. And it's the 18th episode. It's a Roquan Smith episode. You couldn't put it any better. I mean, after that game he had on Sunday.
Yeah, another Purple Rain podcast reference. Sign up for Purple Rain podcast. I get in there. I get in there when I'm available, and I make awkward jokes like the manscaping joke from earlier. I told you, Jamil. Told Sutton I wasn't buying him a manscaping joke. By the way, would you like to? I gave Sutton the opportunity to talk ill of you when he was on 2 weeks ago. He would not do that. Would you like to throw Sutton under the bus, Alex? Anything you can tell us?
No, we're a team. We're a tag team. We're like Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. We're the Hardy Boys. Come on now.
Me and Jamil are like the Road Warriors, Hawking Animals.
Okay. Yeah. Road Warriors.
Jamil, favorite tag team? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite tag team is he just said it. The Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys are amazing. I'm sorry, Jason. The Hardy Boys are amazing, bro.
How about you guys know the Hart Foundation? Jim and the Anvil Neidhart, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah. Was Edge and Christian a tag team?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they're up there too. They're up there too. Edge and Christian. Yep, they up there too.
And ladder matches.
Yeah, for sure.
See, most of my knowledge, like it is about everything else, is 80s and 90s, and I don't know nothing about that tag team now. Left out. I have to send me a good video. All right, Alex.
Just look it up. They were jumping off of ladders like 20 feet in the air. Edge speared Jeff Hardy off of he was hanging. Oh, you gotta watch that. It's like a memorable clip.
Like classic tag team match.
All right, I will watch it. I will get to it. You know what? Going back to this though, Jamil, and the first Browns matchup, we clearly wanted to run the ball on them because of their bad, below average run defense. Mm-hmm. Lamar only had 16 attempts. In a way, and we scored 23 points. In a way, that kind of makes me feel a little bit better if Huntley's playing. Like, we played these guys, we beat these guys with Lamar Jackson only attempting 16 passes. That's Tyler Huntley backup type numbers. Lamar 9-16.
Yeah. Oh man, yes. I think you'll see the same thing with this game, especially with Tyler Huntley, right? Because he's more of the quick game guy. Probably like 16. It'll be under 20 attempts. I would be surprised if it's over 20. But they're really, with the emergence of how well Gus is, JK is playing, and he played since he got him back. Then you have Gus. The running game is pretty good, so it's I think we're going to see a lot of that. And then with the Browns, run defense being as bad as it is, I don't expect a lot of passing, especially from Tyler Huntley. Yeah.
There you go. So, Alex, the other thing that sticks out to me on this chart, which I'm not going to leave up for too long because I know it's hard to read. David Njoku, 7 targets, caught all 7, 71 yards, 10.1 average. Their other tight end, Harrison Bryant, caught 2 out of 2 targets. So their tight ends went 9 for 9 targeting tight ends.
Yeah.
That was a Pepe Williams game. So now Kyle Hamilton is taking over. We got to be able to shut down these tight ends simply.
Yeah, and I think about David Njoku, and like he has requested a trade out of Cleveland like 3 times, and he's still there, and he always cooks the Ravens. It always feels like he has his career game. He actually screwed me a couple of weeks ago on a bet with the Buccaneers game, caught that game tying touchdown. So I just another reason to dislike the Browns. But yeah, I think I think Kyle Hamilton got a sack that game too. Like that was a game where like Hamilton's snaps started getting ramped up and more and more and more. And I know he gave up that touchdown to Freiermuth on Sunday, but this is a nice little bounce back game for him. And Njoku, big body tight end, throw it at him. Let's see what we can do.
That's how I'm feeling. Jameel, their slot receiver, David Bell, did not practice these first 2 days of the week. Of course, we're getting a little extra look into the injury report this week because the game's on Saturday instead of Sunday. So even though this is a Wednesday night, this is like a Thursday injury report. They had 2 practices, bro. David Bell wasn't there for either practice. They're already like to use 2 tight ends. So I expect a lot of Amari Cooper on one side, Donovan Peoples-Jones on the other side, and 2 tight ends in the middle. It does set up really nice for Kyle Hamilton to have a bounce back game.
Yeah, I agree. Like Simply said, Kyle Hamilton's snaps kind of ramped up. And even with the touchdown to Freiermuth, he was right there. It was like he was right there. It was just a really good throw. I expect Kyle Hamilton to be on Njoku a lot. When Kyle Hamilton has been in the lineup, that has allowed Marlowe to play more on the outside, him and MP. So I like to see Hamilton. He'll probably be Njoku would be his assignment for this game, I would like to believe.
Yeah. And then, of course, when they go 2 tight ends, you have Chuck Clark that can come down and cover a guy like Harrison Bryant. Or, we're playing a lot of these short zones. And simply, I'm going to give you a chance to talk about your guy, Patrick Queen. Just absolutely killing it, man. When he has a road dog next to him, I mean, he was already progressing by himself. So I don't even want to try to take nothing away from him. He was slowly showing signs in all parts of his game after a rough Miami game. But when you bring Roquan in, man, that's just like, I'm trying to think of a reference, man. Like, it's like throwing whatever on a whatever. It just blows up. PQ just blew up.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be happier. I was happy for him because fair criticism from the past years, but just the improvement, even in the just coverage wise too. There's little nicks he does get beat, but run he's always been amazing hitting that gap, and then just putting it all together really just makes me happy. Just good linebacker play in Baltimore and just good defense in Baltimore. Maybe it's just because I know what I grew up on and what we all grew up on with the Ravens. It's just a really, really happy sight to see. Just the games he's having, just week in, week out, steady improvement. There's no, like in previous years, he even said that he had a really good game, then a really bad game. Flip-flop and back and forth, back and forth. He's stringing them together now and just making plays all around, catching those interceptions. That one against the Steelers, that was very impressive. I don't know how he caught that one and dropped the one against the Patriots and even the Bills, but just practice. Like Allen Iverson said, practice. So,
Yeah.
Jameel, what do you got on PQ, bro?
I love PQ. I always give players the benefit of the doubt when they show flashes. The only time you'll see me give up on a player is when they're just constantly not doing their job. When you're a rookie or a young player, right, with second year, first year player, and you show flashes, but you may make a mistake here or you may miss a play here, I'm not going to hound you on Twitter or whatever. I'm not going to beat you up or say you're horrible or any of those things, because if you're showing flashes, those flashes are usually who you are. It just, the consistency needs to be brought out of you. And what we're seeing right now is that consistency out of Patrick Queen. And he has that proven, top flight linebacker playing next to him. And then it not only, because I do want to say this, because I don't want to say That's the only reason he's playing the way he's playing, because he was playing really good football from at the beginning of, I want to say, week 5 in that Bengals game. When he picked off Joe Burrow, it's like that's when it started. When he caught that pick on Joe Burrow, it started there. And then when you just add Roquan to it, it bumped his game up even more. So Patrick Queen he's been my guy, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from PQ.
I've been rooting for him big time just because he's a Raven number one. I root for everybody, but I don't want to say make it sound like that. But he's durable. He shows up. He's a nice person. He's accountable. He never ducks accountability. But he's just frustrated the heck out of me for 2 years because, Alex, I like as of the end of last year, I'm like, look, man, was he good at block shedding? No. Is he good at taking on a block and being physical? No. Is he good in coverage? No. Does he miss tackles? Yes. Is he a knockback tackler? No. It was like I was looking for like those signs that Jamil was talking about. Like, all right, well, he's getting this down. You know what I mean? He's getting better at this. And it would, like you said, it would just go up, down, up, down, up, down. And then this year, like, I feel like he hit rock bottom in that Miami game. And then ever since there, it's just been a steady climb up. Even when he dropped the interception in the Buffalo game, it's like he made that play. You know what I mean? He made that play to get there. There's many instances where Patrick wouldn't be on that. Now you're seeing what Roquan, man. What I'm specifically seeing is they're allowing him to do what he does best. And what Patrick Queen does best is cause chaos, moving forward, slashing sideways, busting through the line of scrimmage, and just causing hell. And like when you have somebody of Roquan Smith's quality that you can stand next to him, simply it makes like you can use Patrick Queen almost as like not a linebacker, like as a blitzer or as this like X player type, because Roquan's so steady, man. Patrick Queen shoots a gap and it doesn't work out. Well, hey, Roquan's there to clean it up.
Yeah, and I was just making what's my video for tomorrow, looking at the linebackers play, and there was a play where he just blew up Najee Harris. Najee Harris is not Justice Hill, with all due respect. He's not a small running back. That's a big boy. Full speed, ran at him, kind of just blew up over him, over and above him, and left Najee Harris on his butt, for lack of better words. I just stuff like that, like you said, an X factor. He can do anything. So one more thing too, going back to the Brown stuff. I saw the rushes. Kenyon Drake had 11 carries for 5 yards last game. Yeah. Give J.K. Dobbins some of them. I just like kind of remembered that. Completely different ball game. Saw what he did last week.
Yeah, so. Drake 11 for 5 yards.
I just remembered that. So just that.
And it's wild because whatever runs they were calling for him weren't working compared to like it wasn't like we were getting dominated up front because Gus was averaging 4+ a carry. Justice Hill had his 5 for 26. So, all right, your other running backs were doing well, but we handed the ball off to Drake 11 times, Jamil. Only got 5 yards out of that. It's that sideways BS that I was talking about last week, Jamil. Like, if you want to hand the ball to Kenyon Drake, he's not J.K. Dobbins with his cuts, man. J.K. is special with that. He's not Justice Hill with his speed. Kenyon Drake is a slasher, man. So, yeah, it was just nice having – let's talk about J.K., bro. Like, his speed isn't back, Jamil. And Alex, please follow up on this. His speed isn't back, but you know what is back? We saw it in that cut up. His quickness, his vision, his contact balance. When you run into JK full speed, Jamil, it's like he's able to bounce off and go again. Like it doesn't really affect him. It's a strong balance. He helps this running game immensely right now.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins is a premier running back. Injuries have, plagued him a little with the ACL and the things of that nature, but J.K. is a premier back. We seen what he was about at Ohio State, 2,000-yard rusher at Ohio State in his last year there. He's a top talent at running back. It's just, he has to be, health. Health is important. We have to see it consistently. And I think once he gradually getting back to himself, we seen it his rookie season. He was amazing. Like even with the limited carries he did get, I think he led the league in yards per carry, right? He had like 6 yards per carry his rookie season. So we know JK has the talent. He just game after game, man, just keep handing him the ball. Don't run him into the ground, but just let him warm up, keep warming him up every week. And you'll start to see it by playoff time. JK will be, because I think he could be a good receiving threat too out of that backfield too, if you want to, get him involved that way.
Yeah, I love that. And then just piggybacking on that too, his touchdown, I don't think any other running back, maybe Gus will score that. Just the way that he hit the hole, felt contact, kept pushing, and I think Ricard threw him in there. He did that against, I think, the Browns Monday Night Football. I know he ran over Sendejo, left him with a concussion. And then the wild card game against the Titans, ran over Kenny Vaccaro. That stuff right there, you just can't teach that. That's just a God-given just ability to be that good of a running back in the NFL. And funnily enough, we're going to Ohio this week where he played college ball. He has a chip on his shoulder. We saw it in the Monday night game and then I think week 17 in 2020 where he ran all over the Bengals. He just performs even better in Ohio. I'm looking for him to have another touchdown this week, 100%.
There's a mental toughness to JK. It's kind of, he reminds me of Marlon a little bit, personality wise, and how it translates to the field. They're both a little different. You know what I mean? Let's just face it. We hear them talk, and you know what I mean? They're different. That's kind of what makes them different football players, though, Jamil. Like, there is a real hunger, a drive. You see Marlon knock over a linebacker, I think, or excuse me, offensive lineman or a tight end last week and make a tackle. Like JK, like where a lot of players wouldn't be playing right now or wouldn't have been playing to start the season. Same thing. Marlon, a lot of cornerbacks wouldn't be throwing themselves into running backs like he does, shedding blocks. Like, we got some tough guys on this team, man. Don't let their social media personality, Jamil, or how they sound in an interview fool you about what they're like on the field.
Yeah. I'm not getting too caught up. It's something to laugh at. When you hear a guy talking, you're like, a lot of times their voice don't match their face or whatever. It shocks you because you didn't expect them to sound like that. It's funny to laugh at, but I don't get caught up on it and say, oh yeah, that means you're soft or you're not a dog. Marlo is a dog. There's not many corners in the league that's willing to tackle. He's a willing tackler, very physical. He's a dog for sure. JK is a dog for sure. Even Roquan, I think Roquan, when I heard him speak, I was surprised. I didn't think he sounded the way he sounded. Like, I didn't expect him. I expected like a deep voice or something like that. I don't know what it just caught me off guard, but he's a dog. I don't allow that stuff, man. He's a dog. We got some dogs over here. We definitely got some dogs.
It sounds like a really nice guy. Just a
sounds like a good, just like a nice guy. Like I said, sounds like a nice guy, man. Like he'll mow your lawn, paint your back porch, and take your kids to school for you. He sounds like a good guy, man.
And rip your head off on the football field.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's cool dynamics. Like, it makes me also think of like Gus and JK are so different personality, but they're both ballers. And Marcus and Marlon are both different, like completely opposite personalities. Yeah. Marcus stays to himself and all,
MP is hilarious, bro.
Yeah, he is funny. He is really
those
funny.
Victory IG lives.
IG lives.
They're the best. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know what? A new idea for a segment, Simply and Jamil. We do IG live reactions. Your channel or mine, man.
They're always amazing. You ever see them, Jason?
I have, yeah.
Okay, they're something. And even this past week with Roquan Smith, like that smile never leaves his face. Like it was like a big smile, and just like he's like gotta get better, because he was immediately talked about where he messed up. This man I thought played one of the best games I've seen him play because I've watched a couple of Bears games when he's balling out, and he's talking about what he has to improve on after our first win against Pittsburgh since pre-pandemic, which is insane to think about. Talking about how to get better, just stuff like that. Like I love to hear it.
Yeah, and like I get jealous because they already got the all 22 on the plane.
Yeah. On the topic.
He said, "I get jealous." Hey, man, that's a perk of being an NFL football player, man. That's just a perk.
Okay? You're zooming in, trying to get the all 22 before.
Yeah, I'm like,
see what play it is.
Like, well, I when I do the film, I'll be like, you know what? That was that one play Roquan was talking about. Like he effed up. He got caught in the wash right there, and PQ had to bail him out. So but yeah, watching them play together,
and that's good to see, right?
It is, dude. They pick each other up. They feed off of each other's energy. There's like Ray Lewis would do that seemingly with whoever was next to him, with the Ellerbys but so many guys. Bart, there's so many other guys that I can't remember their names right now, which is a damn shame because they went off and signed with other teams. Who's the guy that married Rudy Huxtable?
I don't. Ooh, I don't know, but I know
That's
Ed Hartwell played next to Ray Lewis. Bar
that's him.
Scott.
There you
It was
Sorry,
Ed Hartwell.
he
go. I don't know who
married
was married
Rudy.
to who.
Oh
Married
man,
Rudy
that's crazy.
Huxtable.
Yeah, so Ed Hartwell, Danielle Ellerby, Jamel McLean. It's a bunch of guys that played next to Ray. Bar Scott, Jamie Sharper. That was back when we won the Super Bowl.
So, Alex, what's your feeling on this team? I think we know the Browns pretty well. Let's
So
just think when Lamar gets back, bro. When Lamar gets back,
okay,
and we start hitting up we got we're as healthy as we're going to be. We got
yeah,
Bowser back now. We got Marcus Williams, obviously playing his head off, dude. You
yeah,
see what a difference a true free safety makes. I mean, it's no disrespect to anybody we've had back there, but there's a difference between. I mean, it's
yeah,
just beautiful to see him be able to get to the ball instead of like just getting in on the play. Um, but we have Lamar. Our passing game was struggling even with Lamar.
yeah.
I feel like we have a lot of spare parts in the right wide receiver group. Like Demarcus Robinson, I think has turned himself into a shown. He's a pretty good
Yeah.
possession receiver. Like
Hmm.
that's my definition for possession
Yeah.
receiver. Good guy, dependable, good routes, good hands. Will get you some tough yak. But other than that, we have like a lot of discombobulation from the coordinator to the position. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk full health Baltimore
Okay.
Ravens. Divisional round at Buffalo or at Cincinnati. How are you feeling in a game like that, Alex?
So my goal for this year was to make the conference championship. I think with the fully healthy team and with luck, I will can't stress this enough. I think in order to win Super Bowl, you have to have luck on your side. I look at the Rams last year. Who would have thought that Robert Woods goes down the day after they sign Odell Beckham Jr.? You know, I look at the Buccaneers. Who would have thought that the Chiefs line was that bad in Super Bowl? They stayed healthy. If this team stays healthy, I think we definitely can get the conference championship. My biggest worry has always been the receiver. I think it's been patchwork. I think it's kind of been poorly put together. I was all for having faith in the young guys, but I definitely wanted another guy in there. And you're not going to sign him off the street. You're going to get one in through trade. I'm still kind of upset we didn't get DJ Chark. I really wanted him. I'm happy he's balling out in Detroit. But I think I don't want to bring another sport in this, but like whenever I watch let's say Argentina, they have Messi. We have Lamar. As long as he's on the field, you can win any game, no matter who's around him, no matter who you're against. You can win that game. That's how I feel with the Ravens. I've seen him time and time again put the team on his back, go out there, make a big play. Like I still think that Chiefs game from last year, compared to what we had in the backfield, I didn't give us a chance to win that. And Lamar went out there, did his thing. Owe got that fumble when it mattered, but I still think we can make a conference championship. And I think we can definitely beat a Bills or beat a Cincinnati in their own home as long as the play calling is right, no stupid mistakes, and the O-line has great play. Because the O-line stopped us from winning in Buffalo, I think, in 2020. Missed block from, I think it was Tyree Phillips and J.K. Dobbins. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hollywood's wide open.
yeah, yeah. So Jameel, long term, man. Talk to me long term. Same question.
Long term for me, I'm more of I want to see a week by week type of thing. For me, playoffs. We're obviously going to make the playoffs, I believe. Um, do I think we have a shot at the Super Bowl? If you're asking me that today, I would probably say no. I do not think we have a shot currently, but I do think that Lamar has that off and on switch where I think if he gets on and it's like he's kind of like clicking, because like we mentioned earlier, when I said our offense is more so like you got to hit those opportunities when they're there, when they're present, because you might not get another one. If he starts hitting those opportunities a little bit frequent, whenever they are presented, and he's just hitting them whenever they present themselves, it could get ugly for a lot of teams. I will say that it can, because then Lamar's he's pretty much perfect at that point because he's hitting all of the throws that could be potential game-changing touchdowns or game-changing plays. So if he's doing that, I think we have a good shot at, like Simply said, getting to the, AFC Championship game. And, if that continues with this defense, and I think we could make a run, but We just gotta hit on those plays. We got to, because we're not going to get a receiver off the street, like Simply said. We have to go with what we have, and we have to make it work while, because we're going to the playoffs. It's not like we're a team that's tanking or anything like that. We're going to the playoffs. So what we have on that roster, we have to make it work. We have to make it work the best way we can.
I'm with you. I feel like Vegas has us like somewhere is like 5% chance to 8% chance, and that sounds right to me. You played this thing out 100 times, we win it 5 to 8 times. It sounds about right because, like, I'm just a big believer in Lamar, and we have yet to see him really get protected in a playoff game to know what he could do, to be given a chance. So yeah, man, give me the hot quarterback behind the good O line, and the guy that gets me most excited about the pass catchers is actually Deshaun Jackson. I think he brings something different. And like we've seen it already, Alex, in a few different ways. We've seen him run a route, stop on a dime, and run a comeback route. We really don't have a receiver who can do that unless you're going to give Prochet the chance that to do that, but he hasn't been given the chance. We've seen him last week, Alex, sneak out into open area like a veteran crafty move off script, which is big for a quarterback that can extend plays and make something out of nothing like Lamar. And then, of course, he can still go and track the deep ball. So Deshaun Jackson, yeah, we're going to have to limit his snaps, but those big plays that Jamil's talking about, I could see Deshaun Jackson winning the game for us.
Yeah, I love that you brought up him because I actually hated the signing at first, and I'm coming around to it. Especially, he won me over, I think, last week. Just the way he caught that first down and then just stared down at the Steelers. Like, I needed that on the offense. I needed somebody to kind of just show the Steelers defense, we're not scared of you. I don't care what you're going to do to us. Like, we're going to sit here, we're going to move the ball on you. And whether it's Tyler Huntley back there, we don't care. I like that dog in him, and I like how he still has something to play for because he still doesn't have a ring. And he needs that ring, I think, to really solidify him as one of the most, he's already one of the most explosive receivers ever played the game, I think. But he's behind Jerry Rice at most 50-yard catches, I think, of all time. Get that ring behind it, talking about Hall of Fame. So, yeah, I mean, but
he's a different dude, man. Like, I've gotten to appreciate like the little things, Jamil, about Deshaun Jackson. I always knew he was a burner and he could put up 180 yards one game, but then the next game he wouldn't go for much. Fantasy teams throughout the years, you see stuff like that. A little bit of Torrey Smith in this game where it's like he could really take over the right, every once in a while. But the little things that he's doing, the nuance, the little route running, the smart things, like Deshaun's learned some things over this year, and he's got some pure receiver in him too. He's not just like some one-trick pony.
Yeah. Deshaun Jackson, he makes you appreciate experience, right? Because he shows you what a veteran who's been around and done it for a long time looks like. Yes, he's older. We all know that. He cannot reverse his age. We understand. But Deshaun, he shows you that, like I said, that experience. He's been there. He's been to the playoffs. He's been a prolific, explosive receiver. So I think, like Simply said, those little things like, improvising mid-play and finding the spot where nobody is, like the fact that nobody was right there and he just, I'm going to just back up right here, catch the ball. Yep. And it's just like, man, I can't wait till Lamar get back because Deshaun Jackson is now on the roster. He's no longer a practice squad player. So he'll be active every week. So I can't wait for Lamar to get back and just to see, because like I said, we have to work with what we have. And that's just that. I want to see Deshaun Jackson on the field. He doesn't.
So I want to transition you into this. Bridges. I agree with everything Brandon says here. Big body control, sideline throws, big body and good body control, red zone jump ball target. I have faith. Man, I was going to ask you, Jamil, to talk about the possibility. Like, I do think Bridges could add something to this team. I just am not confident that he'll be given a chance.
Yeah, that just caught me. That caught me mid. Like, I was just about to land my plane, and it popped up. But it's all good. That's what we're here. It's dialogue, right? So Bridges, I just want him to get an opportunity. Give the kid an opportunity, man. I want to see him play. So if he's able to go, I want to see him play. He's what 6'4", 6'5", tall. He could go up and get the ball. The only thing I just cannot fathom is we see these guys make these plays and we just don't give them the opportunity to do it in the regular season. Can we please give them the chance? If he fails, then we tried. We actually could say we tried, right? But if you have fans continuously wondering what this guy can do because you're not giving them the opportunity, it's like, come on now. And he's what, the tallest receiver on our team right now, other than Benjamin Victor. Like wide receivers, he's the tallest. He was 6'5" or something like that. Like we don't have any receivers of that mold, and Lamar loves big receivers. So give the guy a shot. So
it's funny you bring up Victor because I actually at the third preseason game against the Commanders, I sat behind, I think it was his girlfriend, fiance, wife, and like we had a great talk because we were talking about Ohio State. Like we brought it up, and she like turned around and started talking, and I like he made that amazing catch where he's falling backwards.
Yeah, the catch where he was like
straight hands catch, not hands, and I just was like, why? And he gets a chance, and is he even on the field for an offensive play? Like he's only there in case something goes bad and a receiver gets hurt. That's what it felt like. If something goes wrong, you can go in there. So I don't know. I just want to see one of our big body guys get a young guy, tons of juice, just tons of emotion, ready to go out there and make a play.
Yeah, see, and that's why, Jamil, I apologize for not letting you land the plane. I felt
no, you're good, bro. You're good.
I felt the transition coming, man. That's going back to Brandon's point. That's why Alex stole the words out of my mouth. I don't see Bridges getting a shot because they didn't give Victor a shot, man. Victor's got some experience, more experience than Bridges does. Just he's been around the league for a while. He's been in two different teams. He's been making plays for like what, 2 straight preseasons in a row now.
Yeah.
And like you said, Alex, it seems like he's there just in case of emergency. Like I think he played 2 snaps when that one game he was active. Why couldn't you just throw him at least like a bubble screen or something to get him involved? And you know what I mean? You don't have to like put him firmly in the game plan, but give him a little something. You know what I mean? Sorry about that. Give him a little something to work with, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. And, went to Ohio State, not like he went to a small school at all. He's played in big games already, college-wise. So, I mean, and when you make the point about the preseason, I was there against the Saints last year. It was the one play where Huntley was in, a beautiful comeback route. Huntley throws an absolute laser. He catches it. Yep, catches it on the sideline. Beautiful footwork. And then even the Commanders game, the third game last year as well, had that touchdown, I believe, had some great just toe tap catches, and you just don't see him.
Well,
yeah, it's the offense, man. I just think the style of offense we play, I think until we put a little bit more value there, then you'll see more guys on the field. I was hoping, because I know Victor, he was active for the Saints game, and I think he was active for, I want to say the Jaguars game or the game after the Jaguars. I think the Broncos. He might have been active for that game, but he played like 1 snap. So, and Lamar, that was a game Lamar got hurt, right, against the Broncos. So he was actually active that game, but he didn't really play. I'd like to, maybe when Lamar gets back, maybe they try to, put a little bit more receivers on the field or something. Maybe we'll see.
I hope so. It's like if you're not going to use Prochet, and obviously Duvernay's, seems more of a guy you manufacture touches too. I just want to see a big body. I mean, Lamar loves tight ends. He likes Likely. Why not give him another big target there? Like Brandon said, red zone, end zone, that kind of thing. So here we are, fellas. Final thoughts portion of the game. Let's talk about the Browns game for our final thoughts here, because we kind of did a half review simply because we just played this game, this year. Yeah. It's the Browns. We'll do the same thing when the Steelers come up. We know what they're about, and of course they got a new quarterback, so all their numbers are kind of deceiving. But give me your thoughts on this game, man. Take your time. Talk about the offense, the defense, the atmosphere in Cleveland, the J.K. Dobbins homecoming. How do you see this one going? You don't have to give a score prediction, but you can, man.
I mean, I'll definitely be giving one tomorrow. I know that for a fact. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this team. I actually picked us to lose last week. I had us losing 16-10. We had 10 points at half, so I was feeling good then. But it's just, if it's going to come down to anything, it's going to be the offense. So offense needs to make more plays, needs to score more points, because we've seen it before. When the games get tough in the postseason, this offense averages 11 points a game. I think it is under Giro in the playoffs. So even this, we're 3-0 in our division. We were 1-5, I think, last year. So that right there, we're already a step ahead. You win this game, and then just kind of hope the Bengals have a fall off game. But we're at the season where you got to focus on yourself. It is cold weather. It is perfect Baltimore Ravens football. It is run it down your throat. It is play great defense. And the way our run defense is playing, bring it on, Nick Chubb. Bring it on. Matabike, Calais, Travis Jones, how even Brent Urban in there. Bring it on. Let's see what you got. Throw your best at our best. And then we got Roquan behind them, Patrick Queen, and just ball hawks in the secondary. I actually was at a charity event, I think last weekend. I was talking to Geno Stone, and he was telling me he's getting an interception soon. He told me that. So hopefully he gets his interception this week. It'll be pretty cool, but he hasn't gotten it. Didn't get many snaps last week with Marcus Williams, so maybe Marcus Williams gets one for him again. But as for it, I'll give you a score prediction. I'm going to go 27-17 Ravens. I think, we still haven't hit that 30-point threshold, which Sutton, he actually reminded me, we haven't hit 30 points since I think September. We're in December now. That's got to change, but I don't think it changes this week. But I do think we pulled it off, and I would like to give number 4, Mr. Watson, a nice introduction to the AFC North. A very nice one.
Love it. Simply AS10, talking to Geno Stone, sitting in front of Benjamin Victor's family when he catches a big touchdown. I bet your eardrums were ringing after that.
Yeah, I was behind him, but it was definitely cool to see it. I think his daughter was there too, so it was just really cool, just around the whole family, especially preseason, because you don't know if the guys are going to make it, so every play matters that much more, and that could have been the reason why he was in the practice squad. So pretty cool.
I know I would have been loud. Jamil, can you imagine that? Watching your son out there trying to make a team and catching the ball like Victor did that day, man, that was crazy.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Bro, we had the professional Simply there. 27 points. My God, I would be so happy if that happened. Especially if it was just through our style and we were able to hit one of those big plays, Jamil. How do you see this game going, man? How, just flow wise, what do you got for us?
I'm for me, I think the Browns are going to struggle. Deshaun Watson has, since they've been back, it's been a little rusty, but I just think they're playing a different Ravens defense than they did the first time. I think Marcus Williams wasn't playing. That plays a big part in our secondary, having that rangy safety. It scares people, right? And I think when MP has that rangy safety over him, he's able to play a little bit more freely. So I think having Marcus Williams back is going to it's going to be tough for the Cleveland Browns. I think throwing the ball and things of that nature, and then running the ball. Fun fact: since Roquan has been on the team, teams are averaging 55 yards a game rushing. So, I don't see the Browns really doing much. I don't think we'll score. I don't know if we'll score 27, but I do have us beating the Browns for sure. I don't think the game will be the same as it was versus the Steelers, but as far as how close it was and gritty, I think it'll be run, but it was a lot of running and things of that nature. But I do think we're gonna beat them. I think we'll pretty much beat them convincingly. I don't think it'll be close.
Yeah, I was surprised, Jamil. When I looked at the early line, we were 6.5 point favorites, and that surprised me. That seems like too many points because I think the Browns are a little bit better than the Steelers team we played, especially their backup, Mitch Trubisky's Steelers team that we beat by 2 points. So to think that, okay, we went into Pittsburgh and won by 2, this Browns team is a little bit better. I would have think it would be a closer point spread than that, but I'd still like us to win this game. I think that we're playing more together as a team than Cleveland is. When I watch them, I feel like, with the quarterback back, that he'll flash here and there with some nice throws, but it's a lot of ugly, not executed plays. That's what I see, fellas. Some bunnies, like the one that he had on fourth down that he missed last week, had an easy pass on fourth down, missed it. I could really see a couple of tip balls, interception. We had 5 sacks against Jacoby Brissett. I could see Deshaun coughing one up. I could see the Ravens mixing it up more and testing them with, and just saying we're going to rush an extra. We're going to send 5 more often than not, and really hit Deshaun Watson and welcome him into this rivalry. I could see all that, and I wish Lamar was playing because I have a feeling with the contract situation that it would be a fun story for Lamar to be on the same field with Deshaun Watson simply, and have that extra incentive to just outplay him by a mile to show he deserved that money.
Yeah, first take they would take that headline and run with it. Absolutely run with it. Stephen A, Molly, they'd probably have Michael Irvin on for that one too. They would talk about it nonstop. But I do like that. I do. As for the 27, I want to get this reasoning. I think our defense sets us up with some great field position. I think we do get a turnover. I wouldn't be surprised with a strip sack, but the way the secondary is playing and the way these linebackers are playing, could see another interception or 2 from them and a good run back and inside your red zone to start off the drive, but just finishing drives too. That just frustrates me to no other. So when we get good field position or we have a great drive and it just stalls out. I love Justin Tucker more than anybody else. I've seen him on the field too much for my liking. I want to turn those 3s into 6s and start finishing games.
That worries the heck out of me. So I like this. Jameel, clean this up. Our Deshaun's the one getting the touchdown, bro.
Yeah.
Not theirs. Not theirs. What you think of that quality analysis by Shrimp Trawling?
I agree. All right. Deshaun, I said it's going to be a rough game for the other Deshaun. Our Deshaun, he gets a touchdown, or at least he makes a couple of big plays or a couple catches. We're like, okay, we're cheering. We're happy, right? But Deshaun Watson, I don't think it's going to be a good game for him. I don't.
Red zone scares the heck out of me on our offense.
Red zone.
Yeah, we got to score. I couldn't let that slide, man. We got to start turning 3s into 6. Marcus Williams will have another interception. Watson's eyes are not fixed yet to look off safety. It's true. He looks rusty on some of this, Brandon. He really did to me. Staring receivers down. I mean, we saw Mitch Trubisky, the king of staring receivers down, and what that did over the middle. You can't do that against this Ravens team. O-line repeats a good day of running lanes. We win convincingly 24-13. All right, Brandon. Maybe I will put a couple bucks on the Ravens minus 6. Y'all are convincing me here. Y'all are convincing me.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, hey, Jason, bro, it's not going to be the game people think, man. The Browns are – I know what you're saying by they're a better team, but it's so much more than just being talented, right, and having talent on your team. The Steelers are better coached. They're just a better coach football team compared to the Browns. If you give the Steelers the Browns talent, then yeah, it's a different story. If but yeah, they're a better coach team.
That's a good point. And Alex, you know what? They actually got asked about sticking with Deshaun Watson this week, which I thought was crazy, bro. You pay the guy all that money.
Really?
But one of the reporters actually had to, to be like, was there any reason? Because the reason they asked it is because for what Jacoby Brissett is, whatever you can talk about what he's not, he is a professional quarterback, and they look like they had a system down with him. You know what I mean? A way to do things. And when number 4 came back, then it's just like a little chaos. So I kind of see what Jameel means there. Talent don't mean that y'all are playing together, well coached, playing together as a team.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of – I've actually been off social media a lot this week, so I didn't even see that because I know that would have stirred up headlines. But I think Jacoby Brissett, even with the Dolphins, I think last year, looked pretty good. Sucks he didn't make the playoffs, but he's, like you said, he's always been a professional. Even with the Colts, I mean, wasn't the best, but he'll keep you in the game. Saw it this year. I think week 6, I believe, against the Browns. Kept him in the game. Had a great game. He said very efficient. Doesn't get much better than that.
Hey, well, Alex, thanks so much for joining Jameel and I tonight. With that, I would just like to say thank you to our football family. Love my football family. Thank you to Alec for the super chat, man. That blew me away, got me all. We had a little bit of fun with some jokes. I hope you guys enjoyed the film session earlier. And Alex, make sure you check out Simply's channel. You didn't put up your name, bro. Where's your name's hiding? I don't
So
even
no,
see
for
it.
Purple Rain, we have it like we have a layout, and like my name never comes up. So
Oh yeah, they're
I
all
wasn't
fancy.
used to it.
They're all fancy. He's got like where I got the Huddle It Up films and the Football is Family on the screen.
Yeah.
These mofos outline their box and make it look all fancy, bro. They got the professional setup.
Hey, look, man, I love this show too, so it's dope. I watch it all the time.
Thank you.
All the
Thank
time.
you.
So tomorrow, are you going live, Alex?
Yes, we should be. School has beaten me up. I don't know if you can tell. I got like bags under my eyes. I'm down right now. I'm down, but I should be back tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll be a good one.
Alex, man, I love talking to you. It meant a lot for you guys to come stop and see me.
Of course.
My wife loves you guys to death, and it's just cool seeing, like, we were there not too long ago. You know what I mean? So to see you guys come in and laugh with us, and just it was really, really cool. Got cool kids too, though. Got cool kids, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately,
you got the lights in the basement. You got the lights in there now, right?
Yeah, I got the lights. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, Jamil, the sad thing is Alex is closer to my kid's age than mine. Yeah, look. Yeah.
All right, no yellow.
Yellow.
Yellow's bad.
Next color gonna be brown, I guess, huh? No,
right.
None of that.
Or
none of that.
Yeah. I definitely have to upgrade. I'm gonna have to look next time you guys come over. Bring something with you and like just set my whole thing up. All right.
Do it. Let's freaking do it.
All right, guys. With that, thank you to my football family. Love my football family. Jamil, Alex, say goodnight to the people now.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Peace.